Have you ever dreamed of being a network executive? Come judge the first annual Twitch pitch-off tonight on twitch.tv/nativebirds. Several shows will be pitched. You will pick the best one. They will get $50. The fate of entertainment rests in your sweaty little hands. Take it seriously, bro. Welcome to Big, Stupid Stream. I'm joined by various boys. I'm joined also by the guard from Oblivion. We're here to present you with some television shows that we're competing for funding for. I majored in this language. You get to experience today the thrill that Hollywood producers experience every day when they cancel, uncancel, and recancel Community. Or, like when they canceled Awake with Jason Isaacs before it even got the chance to spread its wings. Not bitter. I don't know what any of these people have prepared. I should clarify. I'm a little frightened, but it's okay.
Thank you all for coming today. It means a lot to me and the boys back at the studio. So, without further ado, careful not to spill your beans. Welcome to A24's Little Lighthouse. It's a fun romp set in the Lighthouse universe. We visit Lil Winslow and his friend Tommy Wake here at the Lighthouse Playground. Those two, they always get in a little bit of trouble, and they're running into that wacky mermaid Sally who lives in the sea nearby. And this will be an animated show created with the with the boys behind the team over at Big Mouth. Here's our first slide here of what we got from the studio. It looks pretty cool, I think. In this episode, our heroes, Tommy and Winslow, they go outside for a little bit of a lunch, a picnic. You guys remember picnics, huh?
Yeah.
However, he's distraught to find his lunch is eaten by the big old bully, Gary the Gull, a very large anthropomorphic seagull. He smashes his head with a rock for 30 seconds, but then later on he learns that's just the circle of life, baby. These big creatures gotta eat just like you and I. And don't worry, kids, Gary does live. He is paralyzed.
Okay, yeah. Is he going to be a recurring character?
Yes, he will now flinch whenever Winslow walks by.
Oh my gosh.
For our episode 2, Tommy Needy Drinky.
Stop.
After one cromulent Lunchable of a day, Tommy goes to the cellar and finds the old Wiki's box of Funtime juice. Goes on a raw bender and he's sipping that stuff down, but after falling to the temptations of prepubescent alcoholism, he finds something that he loves even more than the demon in a bottle of juice. Video games! Yeah, we love those. Woo! Oh man, so much fun. All right, you will love to see their wacky adventures. It's about family, and that's what's so powerful about it.
So, funny thing, Lighthouse Lord in the chat wants to know who will be voicing the characters. Is it still Milani and Kroll?
Yes, it is still voiced by Nick Kroll and Mr. John. I think this one is now John.
Okay. We can't see which one you mean.
Why do you spill your beans?
The one on the left.
John, yeah, okay, that makes sense.
What age are we talking for the kids?
I'm thinking we start with 3 and work from there.
Work from there. So up or down? Start at 3.
Down.
Okay, that's good. That's what I thought.
Distinct Legally wants to know, will Robert Eggers still be directing?
He will be directing in the sense that we will let him see the episode, but he will have no input.
Gotcha. Will there be crossover episodes with other Eggers films?
Yes, they do. In a Abbott and Costello fashion, we get Winslow and Wake meet the Northman.
I'm a big fan of Breaking Bad, so I wanted to stay in the Breaking Bad universe, specifically with a character called Saul Goodman.
You think you're so clever.
Yeah. Let's see. Let me know if you can hear that.
I can.
Sweet. All right. So, the premise: Better Call Saul follows the transformation of Jimmy McGill, played by Bob Odenkirk, a former con artist who is trying to become a respectable lawyer, into the personality of the flamboyant criminal lawyer Saul Goodman. A play on the phrase "It's all good, man." Over the 6-year period prior to the events of Breaking Bad, spanning from approximately 2002
Is this audio loop the
2008.
entire time?
Jimmy is inspired by his older brother, where managing partner Howard Hamlin, Patrick Fabian, becomes his nemesis.
Fabian.
Jimmy befriends Kim Wexler, Aria Seahorn,
Pronounced
a fellow
Ray.
mailroom employee who completes law school and becomes one of the firm's associates.
We have a question in chat, actually. Someone wants to know, did you know if you rearrange the letters in Breaking Bad, you can spell baking bread?
Yeah, this has nothing to do with Breaking Bad.
Right, sorry. Wait. You can't do
Premise
this.
continued. After taking but being denied employment at HHM, Jimmy's pursuits focus on low-paying clients, including working as a public defender. He later begins to build a practice in elder law, which leads to a prolonged lawsuit against a nursing home chain he discovers is defrauding its clients. And I came up with a little mood board, inspiration for the show, just mainly around Bob Odenkirk.
He snaps Ruby Johnson's neck.
Thank you for watching. I wasn't planning on having or taking questions, but
How did you only see the first few episodes?
the rest were too scary.
But
you're
the
pitching
show
them.
doesn't exist yet, right? How'd you only see the first few?
Yeah, no, it's been really successful so far.
If this series is successful, will we see a sequel series where a bald, bearded freak comes and messes everything up?
That's a good idea. We should talk later.
All right, well, thank you for your time. The people will decide your fate. Me, personally, I don't think the show could ever work. I think it's too crazy, and people wouldn't want to watch that for 7 years.
Well, first off, I would like to start by extending my sincere thanks to the team at twitch.tv/Nativebirds Plus for hosting this incredible event and for inviting me to present this exciting opportunity to the viewers at home. Now, that's enough of me. Well, actually, let me introduce myself. My name's Nick. I hail from Hebron, Kentucky, but I just came off a whirlwind trip through LA. And I should disclose, in all fairness, that this is not an original pitch that you'll be seeing today. I was all over town, the town being LA, knocking down the door of every studio from Rodeo to Sunset, Hollywood to Melrose, up and down all these streets, pitching this to them. I'm excited to share it with you today as well. So here we go. Let me just... Hey. Okay. Here we go. Can we see the full slide?
Yeah.
Yeah, I see it.
All right. Slide 1. All right. So, like I was saying, a brief history of me and my pitch. I was all over this town, the town being LA. Some good news and bad news came from it. First, the bad news, I guess. CBS All Access has passed. Hulu has passed. Disney Plus has passed. Paramount Plus is asking their mom. They said they're interested, but they have to ask their mom. And I think we all know what that really means. But thank you, Paramount Plus. Netflix. Now, this was interesting. The Netflix Board of Acquisition and Inquisition actually returned a unanimous verdict. They said that I was exiled, and I was exiled with limited chance of reparation. And to add insult to injury, they actually stole my slides. All of them. So what you're seeing here, I rebuilt. There's a lawsuit pending, so I can't get too into it, but just know I am feeling positive about it. Okay. So carrying on, though, there is some good news. There is some good news, right? All right.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
What these rejections represent is not a failure, but rather an opportunity to zig. You know, as the Latin proverb says, fortune favors the bold. So let's be bold together and make this dream a reality. But of course, that raises questions, not the least of which is, what is the dream that we are going to make into a reality? Well, I'm way ahead of you. Ladies and gentlemen, today we are rebooting MTV's short-lived reality dating TV show with a twist, A Shot at Love with Tila Tequila. Now I know what you're thinking. There must be a good reason that A Shot at Love with Tila Tequila was never renewed for a third season. And, you know, you might be asking, shouldn't we just leave 2007 in the past?
I am asking that.
Absolutely. Here's why. Again, a little bit of a brief history here. I apologize, Liam. I might be stepping on your bit. But so this gal, better known by her stage names Tila Tequila, etc. She's an American television and social media personality. She first gained recognition for her active presence on social media networks. Social media networking websites after becoming the most popular person on MySpace. And I do think we should pause and let that sink in. The most popular person on MySpace. Tequila was offered the opportunity to star in her own reality television series, and that's actually why we're here today. Her bisexuality-themed dating show, A Shot at Love with Tila Tequila, aired for 2 seasons and became MTV's second highest-rated series premiere of that year. There she is, by the way.
It's almost number 1.
Yeah, it was almost number 1 in 2007.
That's huge.
So A Shot at Love with Tila Tequila is an American reality television dating game show similar to the TV show The Bachelor. And I do think this is propaganda. I've actually seen both shows, and they're not that similar. I don't know who put this in there. I actually have my mod access revoked on Wikipedia, so if anybody's out there and listening, I'd love to see that punched up. But it premiered on October 9th, 2007. That's George W. Bush's America. And this is the important part. The series consists of a bisexual-themed reality dating show where 16 heterosexual male men and 16 lesbian female women contestants live in Tequila's house and compete for her attention and affection. The contestants were not aware of Tequila's bisexuality until the end of the first episode. After 10 contestants had been eliminated, the remaining contestants, both male and female, then shared the same home for the remainder of the series. Okay. One more of those for good measure. Trouble in Paradise. Our queen, Tila, was canceled. Rather, her show was canceled at the time. Despite its enormous success, the show was canceled after just 2 incredible seasons, and I think we all can relate to that feel, right, boys?
Preach.
But I invite you to move past that, the sadness, and into the Tequila verse with me. Since then, the show has become a cultural touchstone comparable to The Office and Friends. And I know I don't need to tell any of you about this, but it's impossible to have a night out on the town without hearing at least one person, probably half drunk, shout out Tila's iconic sign-off, "I'll tequila you later." Also, it's just ripped off and imitated all the time. Bisexual dating shows are bigger than ever. Now, this is actually the most interesting part. The show is popular on Google, and you can try this at home. If you go to Google Trends, you can see that people still to this day are still Googling the words "a shot at love with Tila" and tequila. They are Googling all those words, and often, or maybe not often, sometimes they're Googling them all at the same time in that particular order. And this is especially happening in cultural hotbeds like Alaska, Hebron, Kentucky, I assume, and New Hampshire.
Could be huge in
So the tequila verse is ready for us, but are we ready for it? And actually, there are some issues. The answer is kind of not quite yet. The core concept of the show is still unassailable, but a few elements haven't aged well. Chief among them is chief among these elements that haven't aged well is Tequila herself. Don't get me wrong, at 40 years old, even the Hollywood Reporter can't deny that Tila still has the goods, but other elements of her persona may not test well these days, if you know what I mean. Okay, so I guess I'll just come out and say it.
Part 1?
For one thing, it turns out that she hates Jewish people, and I have to say that's really bad. Another potential issue is that she actually came out. Yeah, I'm willing to say it. Another potential issue is that she's come out as straight.
Very brave.
Very brave.
Effectively dismantling the core, the central conceit of the original series. There is some truth to the fact that it's not 2007 anymore. Bisexuality isn't shocking anymore, and it hardly constitutes a twist in Joe Biden's America. So where does this leave us? Well, I've got a simple solution for you. Let's cast Nativebirds in the reboot. Out with problematic minority women and in with lovable white guy. He's cute, he's funny, he's a friend to all creeds and nations, and best of all, he's famously asexual. That's right. A Shot at Love with Nativebirds will feature 10 men and 10 women vying for the heart of our very own Nativebirds. Only there's a twist. At the end of the first episode, it will be dramatically revealed that these young hunks and hunkesses are not competing for the right to bed the bird, but rather to call the bird their bestie. Essentially, they are auditioning to be his friends. So naturally, rather than each episode presenting our contestants with a steamy scenario, the audience will actually be treated to a fly-on-the-wall perspective as Nativebirds experiences a wide variety of friendly encounters with his contestants. These could include grabbing some coffee. They could be catching a film. Maybe there's an intermittent texting throughout the day. Maybe you're helping out on moving day. There could be an episode where they drive Jeremy to the airport. I wonder where he's going. And I wonder what sort of conversations they're having. I would also be open, like if it's a deal breaker, to doing an episode of them picking him up, driving him back to his car from the airport. And if I may be so bold, maybe there's even an episode where they're appearing on a Monday stream. All right, casting. Moving on. We'll only cast the best of the best for the show, but I don't want to go... sometimes you see this thing like when you get too many top shelf actors, they kind of drown out the product and like dilute what can be done with it. So what I want to do is I want to get those A-list celebrities for us. And I also want to get some unknowns that can kind of come of age and come to fame through the show, kind of cementing it even more in the cultural consciousness for years to come. So with the men, we're looking at Ben R. He's attached. We also got Wyatt J. Orlando T is in.
Who are these men?
And guess who? It's Alex from Guess Who. He's on board, guys.
I got him.
That's just the men, and that's not all of them. We've got some other feelers out there. I think once the Series A funding comes through on this, we'll be able to get more. But I think you'll be very excited about the women we have on board. So first off, we've actually managed to get former world... Oh, sorry. Hold on. I don't know if you saw it. There. Yeah. All right. We've actually managed to get former world #1 tennis player Billie Jean King. We've also managed to get former world #1 tennis player Steffi Graf. We've also managed to get former world #1 tennis player Serena Williams. And guess who? It's Susan from Guess Who. So wrapping up, it appears I think I've gone slightly over my time. But there were interruptions, so I'll allow it. But I will say that during the presentation, I got a disconcerting text from Paramount Plus. Their mom said no. So this is really up to you. Please vote to greenlight A Shot at Love with Nativebirds. I mean this when I say it's all upside. Think about it. I get $50. Jeremy gets a friend, which is worth far more than $50. And you get an unproblematic smash hit. Thank you for having me. I yield the remainder of my time to the board, and I will be taking no questions at this time.
No questions?
Wonderful presentation.
That was fantastic.
That's fantastic. I do have one nitpick.
Let's go.
You said in it that he was that Nativebirds was friendly to all creeds, but clearly in his YouTube video about Assassin's Creed 3, he did not enjoy it.
I said I liked it. Sorry.
I don't know. I've heard you speak on Assassin's Creed 3.
Yeah, but not in the video.
I think anybody that we get in here is going to have a checkered past with that. I think that if people like you don't bring it up so much, we might be able to let it slide.
Accepted.
Yeah, and I do think honesty is the best policy here. There's actually a show called A Shot at Love with Tilla Tequila 2, and I don't really even know what that is, but I redacted it in the earlier Wikipedia pages, as somebody pointed out.
When they say Tila Tequila 2, do they mean like a clone of Tila Tequila?
I mean, that might be a talk for another Nmonday. But I can tell you that the current season is called Double Shot with Holly D.
Moisten
All right,
those
so I'm already
crackers.
kind of breaking the rules. You know, I'm doing a live action King of the Hill movie instead of TV series. That's okay because we'll talk about the series later. All right, so we're going to move on here. We're going to get. All right, hold on. We're going.
Yes.
So here we got, a little bit of the cast here. A little Texas action here. You can see everyone. We'll get moving though, because these transitions ain't moving themselves. So we gotta have Tom Hanks as Hank Hill, of course. We got Laura Dern as Peggy Hill. Have no clue why this is picked. Just sort of saw an image with both of these next to each other, and I was like, "Yep, good to go." All right, Matthew McConaughey, Boomhauer, easy
That's
pick
actually
right here.
that's a perfect pick.
That's a
This
good
is the
pick.
easiest choice on the list, honestly. I just want to hear Matthew McConaughey talk like Boomhauer for an hour and a half. All right, we got Bill Hader. I actually don't even like his pick. Thank you.
Why did Texas go away that time?
It was out of there.
This is also a great pick.
I feel like this was one of the easier choices as well. I don't know why. It just seemed to fit the.
I mean, he's got the hair, and
Yeah.
he often plays kind of
a
difficult
Bill
man.
character,
Yeah.
All right, I don't know this guy's name, but he's in It. I know he's in It.
Okay.
So Bobby's lived his life. He's getting out of high school. Hank's like, okay, Bobby, you gotta come sell propane and propane accessories. That's it. That's what you're gonna do. Peggy wants Bobby to go to college. It's gonna be a movie about heartbreak and living your life as a high school senior, moving on into the real world. And then hold on. We're gonna open it up to question.
Kevin said, "Can I ask a question to the time baby?" I'm not actually sure what that means.
Give him a second to elaborate on the time, baby.
Yeah, I need the time, baby.
Because that I feel like that rings a bell, but I'm not sure what.
The time. Baby.
Oh! It says "question time baby" on the screen. This is a show that has been on my mind ever since I was a boy, falling asleep to Nick at Night on my little CRT. And I thought, what if this was a little more about me? And so that's why I'm pitching to you today my show, Jeremly Matters. It's Family Matters, but with a little twist. Let me elaborate. So the premise of the pilot is that Jeremy's outside watching Family Matters in VR, as he likes to do, when suddenly he's struck by a bolt of lightning and sent into the VR world and forced to live inside of and participate in the entirety of Family Matters. The thing is he's very happy about it. Like, he loves Family Matters so much that there's very little conflict in the series. I actually did mock up an intro sequence, just kind of as a proof of concept. Let me
Everything changes every which way. You got to hold on to what you need. And if I hide myself away, how could I know the world away? We can trust each other till the sunrise
So we've got 2 episodes planned. 2 episodes planned. 101 is titled Hot Wheels. A story in this one is Carl buys Eddie. He buys him a used police car so they can refurbish it together. Obviously, Eddie kind of hems and haws, and he's like, "Oh, why? This is an old piece of junk." But they grow together. They fight, and then they grow. Steve Urkel, in the meantime, Jaleel White, glues himself to Laura just as she is supposed to go out on a much anticipated date. Meanwhile, in the C story, Jeremy prepares everyone some soup and sandwiches for everyone to eat, and they all thank Jeremy, and Jeremy smiles. So that's 101. 102, A Mind is a Terrible Thing to Read. Once again, real title from an episode of Family Matters. A scientific accident leaves Urkel, Jaleel White, with the ability to read minds. When he peeks into the brain of Carl, he sees vivid images of himself being crucified. And when he looks into Jeremy's mind, he sees something even stranger. The Winslows learn a thing or two about honesty, and Steve learns a valuable lesson in respecting boundaries. And in a post-credits scene, Steve privately confronts Jeremy and asks him who Jaleel White is. So, my mood board, this is the wrong mood board. I didn't mean to put this in. This is the wrong mood board. I'm sorry. Mood board. Obviously we're going to be borrowing elements from the original Tron. I also want it to feel like being at your underfunded local library. I don't want it to feel like WandaVision because I haven't seen it. People keep bringing it up when I pitch it to them, but I don't know what that is and I don't care. I want it to feel like the new Facebook, like it could replace Facebook. And that picture of Columbo is actually just there for good luck. So thanks for listening. And do you have any questions? What's the finale? Someone wants to know. Probably the finale is that Steve and Jeremy vie for control over Jeremy's body and end up kind of drifting it together like the Pacific Rim robot forever.
The Urkel he gets smart.
That's true. All right.
All right. I'm gonna let that go first. All right. Wait, no, I don't know if that's the right slide. Give me a second. No, that's the last slide. All right. Little Caesars, the show. Me and David Scrivano. So y'all know how I work at the pizza place, right? So yeah, I know a lot of y'all. It's you're at a pizza, you just do pizza, whatever, dead end, kind of thing. But I've actually been making a lot of connections. One of them is David Scrivano, my good friend David Scrivano. He's actually the CEO of Little Caesars Pizza, and and I told him that, my buddy Nativebirds wanted me to do this show pitch thing and that we could win $50. And he seemed really interested in that aspect of it. He seemed really interested in the $50 kind of aspect of being able to win the $50. And so we kind of came up with this idea of here he has the IP of Little Caesar from the Little Caesars commercials, and here I have, and so I took that picture of him the other day. He looked really good there. So we decided to make a show. It's not just another one of those 20-part pizza commercial shows. It's actually going to kick major you-know-what. We're not doing the Noid over here, This is Little Caesars. We're making something really important and powerful, and we have something to say. And we're kind of returning to literary, roots. So the plot.
Oh my God.
Look, I had this idea to do this, so obviously, it doesn't seem very original 3 times after that, we're doing the Wikipedia thing, but the show opens with 2 tribunes discovering the commoners of America celebrating Little Caesar's triumphant return from defeating the sons of his military rival Pompey's. The tribunes insulting the crowd for their change in loyalty from Pompey to Little Caesar attempt to end the festivities and break up the commoners who return the insult. So as you can see, it's basically it's
Stop, bro.
It's basically kind of after that, who knows what will happen, which brings me to my next slide. After that, who knows what will happen? And this is kind of my mood board here. I drew this part. I was really happy. You can't really tell because I apologize again for the bad quality,
wow.
But it's so detailed, the cheesiness of the cheese.
Cheese is oozing.
So throughout the show, it's kind of going to cut to a melty pizza with cheese melting off of it. At the end of every episode, it melts further and further to symbolize the further Little Caesar's fate being decayed. Now, again, the plot of the show is sort of about everybody's gonna kill Little Caesar, because he poses a threat to the American people. But in the final episode, little Brutus, he goes to stab him, and little Caesar deflects it, and he stabs little Brutus, and he says, "You too." And then
You too.
he says, "No, you."
No, you, Brute.
We got Cheese Man. It's a live action series. That's what he's gonna look like.
He's really, those eyes are really unsettling.
Is he the only one that looks like that?
It reminds me of Smiling
Looks
Friends.
like everyone else is like a human being.
Oh.
Wait, that's a blank slide. Oh, that's all, folks.
I have a question. Did your Dolly prompt go through?
Ah, it did. I can't believe it did. Yeah, there's Little Caesar's mascot with a gun. It didn't really work very well. None of them really look like him. They look kind of more like Pac-Man,
I like the one in the
like
middle.
gangster
Kind of
Pac-Man.
packy.
They're a little packy. The middle one here,
they're
yeah.
packing.
They're packing.
They are packing.
Packing.
We do actually. Lighthouse Lord has a question. Does Little Caesar fight other pizza mascots in the show, like Big Papa John or the Noid?
It actually opens with him dropping the Noid down a pit. He
Okay.
Sparta kicks him.
All right. Well, I think that's all. That's everybody.
Believe so.
Go.
All right. Well, it's time
Excellent
to.
work, everyone.
Yeah. Thank you, Joey. You must cast your votes. We're gonna give it, I don't know, a minute.
Will we see it update in real time?
You know what's interesting is I am not seeing it update at all.
Excellent.
Really
It's
very
taking a minute.
fascinating.
You'll have to count the votes manually.
I will
Yeah.
have to count the votes manually. I can't believe this poll widget is busted. I really I wanted my poll to look nice.
Can't believe you're busting widgets over here.
I'm busting widgets day in and out.
Just to interject, busting widgets is one of the episodes of my show.
James, that's not true, right? That's not.
Wait, no. Sorry. Joker 2 will be a musical starring Lady
Kevin
Gaga.
says not a meme.
Not a meme. Hold on.
That can't be real.
Yeah,
That's a
Jeremy,
joke.
screen share. Google that.
Yeah. Hold on.
Google me in.
Google me in, please.
So I've got it on the stream. I'm googling you in, and what?
Waiting to be Googled.
Joker
in.
2 to be a musical. Lady Gaga in early talks to play Harley Quinn.
Nice.
Here's
Hold on, look at that.
fan-made
Look
image.
at look at that
Look at
picture. Look at those.
Yeah.
That's a nice,
Teaser?
nice selection of pics there.
Yeah.
While you're here, can you Google "scary Joker"?
Okay. Scary Joker. I'm freaking out, dude.
Hey guys. Thank you. Thank you, each and every one of you. Thank you, everybody on the Shot at Love with Tila Tequila message boards that showed out tonight. Couldn't have done it without all of you. We had a lot of great pitches. Yeah.
That's
For some
great.
reason, this feels like a cameo video.
It
Can you give like a
does.
shout out?
It's the vertical. Yeah,
I tried
can you
really
direct
hard
this
to get a
sick
cameo
kid?
for this.
Yeah, really?
She's not on. I think she's been kicked off.
No.
What would you have had her say?
I was going to get her to endorse the show. To all the bird watchers out there, basic and advanced, I wish you a lovely evening, a blessed night, and a beautiful morning.
Can you say Gollum for me?
Gollum.